There have already been a couple of fantastic games to start off on day one of March Madness in Arkansas, and the nightcap should be a good one as well. The 3A boys state championship game is on tap. The Drew Central Pirates at 28-6 under head coach C.J. Watson in his 7th year, taking on the Ashdown Panthers at 27-2. And they come in about set for the announcements of the starting lineup. Scott Inman rejoined by Justin Acree, who is putting in a little bit of extra time today. Started out on the radio, play-by-play of a great girls game moments ago, and now you're going to saddle up and check out the 3A boys game.
Listen, I've been trying to ride your coattails for a long time, my friend, so this is going to be good fun for me. I'm so excited about this game. We have been so fortunate. I can't imagine or remember 2 back-to-back games that were so competitive and compelling throughout, and really different style of games.
Yep.
And not normally do you see, the girls game be way more fast-paced than what the boys game was, but they were both very well played. I hope we see teams play poised like we've seen, in the first 2 games, Scott, because that's something that's a little rare. Sometimes in this big stage, bright lights, a lot on the line. Sometimes if it's your last game, you go out with a little bit of nerves. But, man, I love the way the teams are playing at such a high level so far.
They were taking care of business from the get-go, both in the boys game between Little Rock Hall and Marion and the game you saw. And you're right, a fast-paced up-and-down game. I looked up at the end of the first quarter, and the score was greater than the halftime score of the boys game.
Right.
It was pretty amazing. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. They're about ready to announce them. We'll take a look first at the Drew Central Pirates, coached, as we mentioned, by C.J. Watson. He's coaching his alma mater, by the way. He was a guard for Drew Central back in 2001, made it to the first round, and here he's got him as the coach in the state championship game. There are the starters on the right for the Drew Central Pirates. They'll start at a guard, a 6'2 senior, Nicky Bernard. He has a 4.0 GPA, by the way, and also gets 11 points per game on the basketball court. Zeb Tranham is also a starting guard at 5'11", a senior. He gets 15 points per game. Travarius Sheed, and they call him T-Man, wears number 3, 6-foot junior, best passer that Coach Watson says he's ever coached. He gets 14 points per game. Markalen Jacobs is a 5'9 senior. He is also a guard. Guard-heavy team. They will have it forward, number 22, a 6'1 junior, Trenton Eubanks, getting 10 points per game. He's also got a 4.0 GPA. On the left side of your screen, the starting 5 for the Ashdown Panthers at 27-2. They'll start at guard, a 5'9 senior, Caden Hunter, and he gets a whopping 19.4 points per game. He also gets 4 steals per game, so he plays pretty well on both sides of the floor. Starting in that backcourt with him, a 5'9 senior, Keemon Nutt. He is wearing number 3 tonight. Number 12, a 6'3 junior, number 12, Lamar Wilkerson, getting 19.1 points per game as well as 9 rebounds per contest. So he is almost averaging a double-double. A 6-foot senior, number 21, John Smith, getting 12.5 per contest. And also at forward, Notorious Nelson, wearing number 23. He's a 6'4" junior. So you get most of the points out of 3 guys for Ashdown. Hunter at 19.4, Wilkerson at 19.1, and Smith at 12.5. Now, we didn't mention the head coach. James Smith is the head coach for Ashdown. He is not allowed to be in the arena tonight because he was kicked out, ejected from the semifinal game by the officials. So by rule, he will have to sit this one out. So we ask who the coach is actually going to be. We're told it's going to be by committee, so we'll see who ends up doing most of the signal calling over there.
Well, and again, you sort of make your own luck in that regard, and I understand in a highly contested game with all that on the line, he was also apparently, I guess he announced to the administration he was going to finish his career, 37th year as a coach this season.
Yeah.
And to think you've never been to a state championship game before, first time you've made it, and now you're not allowed to coach in it. Your heart breaks for him. And as a guy who's lost his cool a time or two, I can certainly relate to him, and I hate it for him. But you know what? If the Panthers can bring home win number 28 and claim a state championship, that certainly is all his as much as it would be if he was sitting on the bench all night, Scott.
So we mentioned Ashdown with 2 losses, one of them to this Drew Central team by 1 point. They played on February 23rd, and the Pirates won it 46-45. So these 2 teams familiar with one another. They will be very different. In the boys game we called earlier today between Hall and Marion, they were mirror images of each other. When I talked to Coach C.J. Watson over the phone earlier this week, he said, hey, we're not going to look the part. We got a bunch of little guys running around the court. Ashdown has a bunch of guys who play football. They're bigger and stronger, so it might look like a mismatch, but don't let that fool you. Drew Central has beaten this team once already.
Yeah, and again, I mean, it was a one-point game, 46-45, so if that's any indication, we're going to get a good one tonight. I mean, it's great that they just met in the regional finals. So this is a team in Drew Central. The Pirates will have you saying arg throughout the game because they can drain it from long range. Over 200 threes made as a team, Scott. So we're going to see some good perimeter shooting tonight. They've got a number of guys who can knock it down. Should be a ton of fun to watch tonight.
Yeah, also when I talked to Coach Watson, he said they like to go up-tempo. They like to shoot those threes in transition. They like to bring out the full court pressure when needed. He says he calls it little hog ball. And I asked him, well, did you have to tell them what hog ball was? Because we don't, they don't really play it like that anymore like they did with Nolan. He said, I told them to YouTube it. So they've YouTubed hog ball, Nolan Richardson style, and they do break that out a little bit at Drew Central.
Yeah, got to keep your eye on, too, for Drew Central. Trenton Eubanks, a junior, 6'1", 185. They call him Dennis Rodman. He's kind of the straw that stirs the drink on the defensive end, and I don't know if he's quite worm-like. We're going to get a chance to see him, though. 10 points a game, but he's their leader on defense. Really smart kid, 4-point GPA, really physical and active, and he's a key cog for them, especially on the defensive end.
Should mention for Ashdown, when they lost by 1 point to Drew Central on February 23rd, that was the regional final.
Right.
Now, Lamar Wilkerson did not play in that game. That's the 6'3" junior we told you about who's averaging 19.1s per game. He had hurt his knee in the previous contest, so he will be out there. That's him right there on the middle of your screen, number 12. The junior will be playing, did not play the last time these two teams met.
Yeah, that is impactful, needless to say. So, about ready to get this one going. And, you know, it's interesting. I'm not going to lie. I had to look it up. I didn't know, you know, Drew Central's obviously Monticello.
Yep.
And if you draw a triangle to Hot Springs, you basically have the two towns sort of at the other corners of the triangle meeting here in Hot Springs. So it's really kind of a little triangle setup here, but it's still a couple-hour drive. It's a ways to get up here, obviously, but I'm sure we're going to have a good contingent of both fans from Ashdown and from Monticello area.
Then good crowds all the way around, and the tip will be controlled by the Ashdown Panthers in the purple trimmed in gold, and the Pirates from Drew Central in the home whites trimmed in red. We are underway in the third and final game, and they'll go backdoor with the lob right away to Wilkerson and get him involved. A set play to get points on the board. Wilkerson gets the 2 on the backdoor lob.
That's it. Not a bad way to start a state championship game.
On the drive off the left side, Sheed can't get it to go. Fights for the rebound, and it will stay in the front court.
I like these Drew Central unis. Probably not great for a play-by-play guy, but they're actually not even filled in. They're outlined on the uniforms. Pretty unique in the red and white.
If this was football, I'd be sunk, but I'm close up. A miscue there, but they get away with it. Jacobs circles back up top. This is Nicky Bernard. May walk on at UAM, we're told. Has his pocket picked, and it is going to be signaled that it stays in the Pirates' front court.
He's made 73s on the season, Scott. He's also second on their team in rebounds and assists and averages 13 a game. So really good all-around game on the offensive end.
T-Man Sheed. Love that name. Travarius is his given name, but they call him T-Man. He's got the ball. Guarded by Smith. Leans in, and they'll call him for a travel.
Well, if his name wasn't T-Man and it was James Harden, he would have gotten away with that.
Yeah.
Little extra hop in there. I think the officiating, that's another thing. We don't give enough credit. It has been outstanding here in the early going. I'm one that's very critical of officials.
Yep.
It's been awesome so far the first 2 games.
I totally agree. They've let him play when they needed to let him play. 15-footer by John Smith is no good. That rebound down to Trenton Eubanks. That's a great point. We don't bring them up in a positive light enough. So
no, they're like offensive linemen.
Yes.
Did you hold? Did you give up a sack? It's the only time you're getting mentioned.
Baseline to Eubanks. Back to the wing now. Drew Central still looking for their first points. Very patient just inside the arc. Trenton Eubanks drains it.
They say he leads them on defense. I guess he can bring something on the offensive end, too, as he opens the scoring for them.
You can definitely see the football build of a lot of the Ashdown Panthers that we talked about in that open. May have an advantage physically, but Drew Central beat them the last time they played. Keemon Nutt with the ball, 5'9" senior. This is Lamar Wilkerson, who got the game's first two. Looked to get the pull-up, instead gives it to Hunter for three. Caden Hunter gives Ashdown the lead back. Markalen Jacobs, the ball handler.
Ashdown really good man-to-man positioning, staying in front of the ball handlers and not getting hung up on screens.
So a lot of zone in that 5A boys game, but it is straight man right now. Nothing fancy. Tranham feeds it to Eubanks. Eubanks in the lane. A good finish. And he's got all four of Drew Central's points right now. That pressure beaten quickly. John Smith to the basket, has it knocked out. John Smith, a 6-foot senior. We don't have weights, but he is he's a football build right there.
I was going to say. DN,
a lot of muscle.
Yep.
And a steal. And Jacobs had it swiped right back by Wilkerson, and Wilkerson's going to be fouled by Bernard. Hey, you can watch all of the championship games as many times as you want online beginning Monday at aetn.org/sports. That was definitely a foul. And a pretty good one by Bernard to save the two at the free throw line. Smith with a spin move into the lane. How about that for the big guy?
Football body basketball game. Nice.
Nicely done by John Smith. I like names like John Smith when you're trying to make sure you pronounce guys right.
There's no doubt.
You need one or two of those. Halfway through it in the first quarter. Both teams being very patient, filling each other out, just like they did in that 5A boys game. Defensive pressure really good right now in this man-to-man half court.
You know, and you talk about Ashdown without their head coach here. Obviously, there's some disadvantage there for in-game adjustments. That's something that I'm sure that Drew County's talked about, and they're going to try to mix things up through that. But at the same time, maybe a little added motivation.
Bernard drives. The pull-up from the baseline. Hit the top or the side of the backboard. Sheed out of there with it, or correction, Nutt out of there with it, and he goes coast to coast ahead to Nelson. (9-4) Ashdown with the early lead. Bernard's going to be fouled.
You see the way Nutt was directing traffic. He's dribbling at breakneck speed up the sideline, and he's directing traffic, telling his teammate, go, go, and gets him in position to get a layup. He had that whole play mapped out in his mind before we ever got there.
Timeout at Bank OZK Arena. Back to Hot Springs in a moment.
What motivates me is when I can kind of look at people and tell that they doubt me.
Nothing's going to be easy for them. They have to work for what they want in life.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Fast start for the Ashdown Panthers. They've hit 4 of their first 5 shots, and they've got a 5-point lead here with 3:26 left to play in the first quarter of our third and final Thursday game in Hot Springs. We've already crowned 2 champions today. Marion getting their first boys title in school history, and Batesville beating Berryville to 66 in the 4A girls game. And another steal. Nutt out of there with it. Up the floor, Caden Hunter. In and out. There's an offensive putback by Nelson. And Drew Central gets the rebound. Bodies on the floor. Boy, a physical start to this one.
Nelson did everything right there except for complete the layup. Great job on the offensive glass. Ashdown really aggressive. Speaking of.
Bernard changes hands, score it, plus the foul.
State champions merchandise available now at ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com. And obviously, if you want to remember this one fondly, if your team got the title done, might want to snatch up some merchandise. Three-point play converted there by Bernard. Nice job off the drive and finishing it off. And they needed that one. They needed something positive. Got it back within 2.
Ashdown quickly into the front court. Keemon Nutt, the 5'9" senior, calls the play. Working on Williams. This is Hunter, Caden Hunter. Now Wilkerson, who did not play the last time these two teams met. Drive by Nutt. Wild shot off the mark, and Dunn may have gone over the back. They'll call a jump ball, though, and the possession arrow gives it back to Drew Central. Pirate fans wanted an over the back. Fans are into it. They've been into it all game long. That crowd was good in the girls' game, too.
Absolutely.
And loud. Eubanks drives and kicks it out. Another hand in the passing lane. Counts as a deflection. How about 2 deflections? Ashdown's just making it hard on Drew Central to get a pass off.
It's like they're playing with like 14 or 15 hands out there on 5 guys. They are in every passing lane, as you pointed out. Tip one here, tip one there, tip one everywhere.
They've already forced 3 turnovers 6 minutes in.
This is a much more frantic pace than either of the first 2 games. Second game was the girls' game was quick, but this game a little more frantic and a little sloppy because of the intense defense.
Yeah, girls was quick, but it was cleaner.
Yeah.
Right side, Eubanks splashes one through. He's got 6 of Drew Central's 9.
Coach Watson misled me intentionally there. He told me Eubanks was the defensive stopper. Well, he's showing a nice penchant for knocking down jumpers.
Filling it up right now. Jimmy Dunn into the ball game, 5'10" senior. 3-pointer is off. Rebound down offensively, though, to Wilkerson. Seen a lot of offensive rebounds so far today. A lot of shooters following their own shot getting the rebound in that first game. Wilkerson averages 19 a game from 16. No. T-man Sheed out of there with it. Drew Central, a chance to take the lead here. See if they'll take it down under 10 before they run it. Doesn't look like it. Eubanks all the way. Getting up big for the boards is done. They want to run. Wilkerson finds Hunter. A 3-pointer. Not there. Wow. We've had bodies everywhere. Yeah, you can't fault the hustle. That's for sure.
Yeah, it has not been, like you said, it's not been the cleanest, but it's not for lack of effort. It's been too fast and too furious if we were going to go with a movie title.
Yeah, that's right. Caleb Williams.
Bottom line, we got a tie ball game, Scott.
Yep.
No matter how we got here. And they got a lot to live up to. Those first 2 games so competitive, and we've got a good start to this one.
Williams, a jump stop, has to push it up in traffic and looked like he might have drawn some contact, but there will be a foul call on the rebound. That's going to go against.
I think they're going to call a jump ball out of that.
They call another jump ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting a lot of tie-ups here.
Lamar Wilkerson with the inbound into Keemon Nutt. Drew Central with a little pressure in the backcourt. Now they fall off. And with 7 ticks left, here's Wilkerson. 4 to shoot. John Smith hands it back. Wilkerson at the horn. I don't think he got it off, no. It goes in, but he was definitely late with the shot. That's the right call. And we will go to the second quarter, knotted at 9 apiece in the 3A boys final from Hot Springs.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Law Offices of Gary Green, a people's practice, representing people with serious injuries in areas of personal injury, nursing home negligence, and product liability. We are proud to be underwriters of AETN.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
The Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
A 9-9 tie as we go to the second quarter here at Bank OZK Arena. The 3A boys state championship game, the finale on Thursday. But March Madness is just getting started in Central Arkansas. 4 more games tomorrow and 5 on Saturday to finish out the high school season.
Sang the praise of the officials. Scott wanted to name them. Austin Winterberg, Kimmel Woods, and Adrian Bird working this game here in the 3A state championship.
Eubanks to the rack. What a strong move, and the foul. How about that crossover?
Mr. Eubanks has offense on his mind tonight. He has been key cog for them. And all of a sudden, Drew Central moves into the lead, and a three-point play puts them up by 3. That's you know, they were struggling to score early on. They're finding a way now.
We've got an official's timeout. One of the players for Drew Central, Tranham, is going to have to come out of the game.
That looked like he may have had a cut or something they're
Yeah.
going to have to tend to.
Meantime, Eubanks averaging 10 points per game, has 9 here in the first half, and we haven't played a minute yet of the second quarter. On the break, Smith. John Smith has 4.
Love that play. Oh,
And a steal. A circus shot goes in, plus a foul. Keemon Nutt.
oh my.
It's showtime.
I got to see that again. What a great steal, and then, my goodness, the finish, ridiculous. Oh, I mean, that's impossible. He's on the left side of the rim, and he got it to go on the right side of the rim. My goodness, and then he finishes it off. What a play. Wow.
That may be the shot of the day right there. I don't know if it's going to be topped.
Well, that may go on ESPN. That's like Sports Center. That's not just going to lead the local news. Uh-oh.
And another hand in the passing lane and a steal. How about Wilkerson following it up? Reverse layup is good. Ashdown is fired up. Their defensive transition has built them a 4-point lead. Timeout, Drew Central. Ashdown with 5 turnovers, and 2 of them back-to-back there with the finish. So it's a 5-0 run for the Panthers. And C.J. Watson ready to settle his team down right now.
Well, you know, the game I hate to keep referring to games that we already watched, but anyway, the Berryville game, they shot over 50%, Scott, but turnovers killed them. 20 turnovers in the game. That's what we're seeing here. I mean, Drew Central playing pretty decent. You know, they've gotten some good individual performances, but the turnovers just killing them with those 5 turnovers. And Ashdown, as we saw there, turning them right into points. 7-0 run now for Ashdown. And tell you what, the Panthers doing their coach proud, even though he's not in the building.
That shot contested off the fingertips of Sheed. He will draw contact. That's going to be called on Jimmy Dunn. Yeah, not just the 5 turnovers, but if we were keeping track of deflections, you know, that's one thing Mike Anderson likes to keep track of with the Razorbacks. His hands in the passing lanes. They have got a lot of pass deflections in this game. First free throw is down.
Well, it should be noted, too, 7-0 edge for Ashdown, and points off turnovers. Got to convert those, and they're doing a nice job there.
Sheed gets 1 of 2. Nutt the rebound for Ashdown. Wilkerson holding. This is Caden Hunter. Wilkerson works the other wing now. He shuffles his feet. A rare first half mistake by the Ashdown junior. And Drew Central a chance to cut it to 1 or possibly tie it with the 3 ball this trip down. Good ball movement. They spread for Williams. Into the double team. Has it taken away. And another turnover. Hunter with the hesitation goes by everybody, can't finish. But he got his own miss. How about that hustle? A trap, but Drew Central can't get it. Wilkerson for 3, got it. That's 7 for Lamar Wilkerson. And the lead is 6 for the Panthers. Another crossover by Eubanks, and he drives into John Smith. And John Smith takes the charge.
Bernard did not like the call there, and a little reaction. You couldn't have gotten away with that in my day. You would have gotten a stern talking to, if not a technical from the official for a reaction like that. You better put your hand up back in the day. Times have changed, Scott.
They have, in many ways. Most of it for the good, right?
Yeah. I think giving a guy a little leeway on his emotions should be all right.
John Smith again hits the jumper. And John Smith's got 6.
It's all of a sudden an 8-point lead, under 5 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, Drew Central needs a basket, and they don't need to turn it over. Eubanks from 17, splash.
Well, he is so good on that pull-up jumper. We've seen him knock down 3 of them now. And he's got 11. He's trying to implore his team to step it up on the defensive end. Ashdown really making Drew Central uncomfortable. You're not seeing the same on the other end of the floor. They are trying to extend their defense out. They had him starting the offense out near midcourt. Now backed off a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Ashdown looks much more comfortable in the half court. They are willing to take the 3-pointer, and it gets banked in. Maybe not as planned, but 3 more. Keemon Nutt on the other end. Eubanks wildly off the mark, and it's Nutt with the rebound. The Panthers in transition. Wilkerson passes up the 3, and then a great assist to Nutt. And it's an 11-point Ashdown lead. Drew Central's seen enough.
Yeah, C.J. Watson can't be pleased with what he's seeing there. Just too easy by Ashdown. They've just been a step quicker lately, and now they've extended the lead out to 11 all of a sudden. I mean, just that fast. Both teams shooting at a high percentage, but Ashdown, again, making their own luck, and they're spreading the wealth. Nutt with 8, Wilkerson 7, Smith with 6. I mean, doing a great job. It's really been all Eubanks on the other side of things. They need somebody else to step up and do something offensively.
Well, if you want to know about Ashdown's path to the championship game, all you need to know is they knocked off Baptist Prep 68-66. That was the team I think most people had penciled in to be here today.
Well, with all due respect to everybody else in the tournament, I just wanted to see McBride one more time.
Sure.
Before he was in a Kansas uniform.
Knocked them off, then they beat Osceola 73-60 to get here. Only 2 losses on the year, 1 to Drew Central, 1 to Harrison by a combined 2 points. It's got to be a foul on the floor before the drive on Nutt. And that's going to bring us to our media timeout at the halfway mark of the second quarter. The Ashdown Panthers with a big lead. This is about as big of a lead as we've seen in the state championships so far.
One of the best things about being a community-focused bank like Centennial is that we encourage our employees to volunteer and give back. That's why our bankers are often seen around town involved in activities that have less to do with money matters and more to do with supporting others. From charity events and disaster relief to Chamber of Commerce and civic activities, we enjoy rolling up our sleeves and helping make our community a better place. See for yourself the difference our local commitment can make. More information available at mile100bank.com. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
It wasn't God who made
Women were singing songs from a man's point of view. They were singing what men wanted us to sing. You know, that I'll be here, you can go do whatever, but I'll always be here waiting. Well, that was changing.
That has caused many a good girl to go wrong.
The Ashdown Panthers forcing 7 Drew Central turnovers in the first half, and they've shot 58% from the field, and they're out to an 11-point lead. And you remember at the end of the first quarter, Justin, it was 9-9. So they have exploded for some offense here in the second quarter, and we're not even close to being finished with it.
That's amazing. I mean, we still got half the quarter left almost, and they've already nearly doubled their first quarter output.
Strong move by Sheed. He can't finish, but he gets it right back. Another turnover. Hunter to the rack. Uh-oh. Yeah. The next 3 minutes could be very pivotal.
Yeah.
Drew Central having a hard time handling that pressure. That was Coach Watson's key to the game when I asked him about it. Long three by Tranham, and he buries it. Maybe not the shot they were looking for, but that was a much-needed basket.
Yeah, he's a 35% three-point shooter, and I'm with you. Kind of a quick shot, well beyond the three-point line, relatively well contested there. But, hey, the guy's made 75 on the season. I guess when you need something, go to him.
John Smith muscles his way through the lane, buries it, and will get a free throw.
It's going to go on Williams. And just not good enough, or excuse me, that's going to go on Jaden Golden, the freshman. Big body, but still young. It's not good enough defensively right now for Drew Central.
We invite you to join the conversation on social media with hashtag AETN Sports. It is a 31-18 Ashdown lead, closing in on the final 2 minutes of the first half. Tranham filled it up last time, and they're all over him this time. Nice spin by Bernard. 15-footer off 1 foot, not there. Smith can't corral the rebound, but his teammate does. And here come the Panthers. Wilkerson. Almost lost it. They're going down to the big fella again. What a pass out of the post, too, to Nutt.
I thought he was going to try to go up against the double team. Instead, he made the extra pass, knowing somebody's open. Great cut, too, there. And a good find and a good finish by Nutt. They've blown this open, Scott. 15-point lead now.
And 24 of their 33 in this second quarter, and an offensive foul on Drew Central.
Boy, nothing going their way right now. Pirates may need to return to port here and talk this one over. Goodness. Impressive.
Not often you see a 24-point quarter in high school basketball. No shot clock. But we've seen it today, and it's maybe going to be more. There's a foul
That's the 6th team foul, so we're not quite there yet, but the next one will, if there is another one in this final minute, result in some free throws.
That's on Caleb Williams, and that's not the part of the floor you want to see a foul in the backcourt. Jimmy Dunn walks it across, under a minute until halftime, and it can't get here soon enough if you're a Drew Central Pirate. Wilkerson for 3. Everything going right for Ashdown. "27 points in the quarter.
They have doubled them up.
Shooting percentage now up to 65% for the Ashdown Panthers.
That is obscene.
They've taken the crowd out of it, and they are in full control. Time running out on Sheed. The 3 to counter, not there. Putback is denied. 2 seconds at the horn. Hunter from half court. Oh, just missed. And I'm really surprised it didn't go in.
I'm with you. The way things have been going. What a half. What a quarter, most importantly, I guess, for Ashdown. You go from 9 to 36 just like that.
The Ashdown Panthers in full control in the 3A boys title game here in Hot Springs. We'll be back courtside in just a moment.
More than 5,000 miles of travel in the state of Arkansas, visiting 22 schools in the process, all for just one purpose: to find the coolest, most unique programs and the most amazing educators the state of Arkansas has to offer. Join us as we showcase just a few of the bright spots throughout the state. Catch a new episode of Cool Schools every Thursday on our Facebook page, or find out more at aetn.org/coolschools.
The Everett difference is much more than just vehicle sales and service. It's also our commitment to helping those who help others, like those who work to build communities, those who help to enrich the lives of children, those who provide a loving home to kids in need, and those who lend a helping hand when you need it. It's a privilege to work with these wonderful organizations, and we're grateful for everything they do. That's the Everett difference. Everett Buick GMC.
A reminder, for information on DVD purchases of today's events, visit FidelityLocal6.com and choose the Central Arkansas region. Well, the Ashdown Panthers outscore Drew Central 27-9 in the second quarter. They put on a clinic.
It was impressive. I mean, they exploded. Again, when you triple your output from quarter to quarter, I mean, what else do you say? Drew Central had no answers on the defensive end, and then you see that obviously the Panthers made their own luck too, creating turnovers and converting them at the other end.
Yep.
Here's my number of the game so far. Off turnovers, 17 zip advantage for the Panthers.
That's the story of the game.
You can win a lot of games like that.
The turnovers starting the offense, but on the other end, they can get it from anywhere. You got Big John Smith doing it down low, passing well out of the post. Wilkerson's a good player, too.
Yeah. Well, when I saw that 3 go down by Wilkerson, I thought, uh-oh, y'all are in big trouble now. I mean, if they're going to get it going outside as well as dominating down low and then creating turnovers, I mean, that's a 3-headed monster that's hard to battle.
That was, as we mentioned it during the broadcast, C.J. Watson, when we talked to him earlier in the week, his key to the game was having to handle the pressure of Ashdown. He said they jumped on him 13-0 in the last meeting. But, by the way, they did come back and win that game 46-45.
You never know.
We'll see.
That's why they play 2 halves.
That's right. It's halftime here at Bank OZK Arena. We'll be back for the second half in just a few moments.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Law Offices of Gary Green, a people's practice, representing people with serious injuries in areas of personal injury, nursing home negligence, and product liability. We are proud to be underwriters of AETN.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
The Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
By 1971, all the high schools in Arkansas abided by the federal mandate to racially integrate. But in the 1969-1970 basketball season, with their schools slated for closure at the end of the year, the Carver High School Cobras from Stevens, Arkansas, wanted one final run to leave their mark in the state tournament. This is their story.
Carver meant everything. Just absolutely everything. I'm Larry Banks, and I was a Carver Cobra for the school year 69 and 70, and then for Stevens High School in 71. We had a lot of discussions around town about the schools were going to integrate. This was the fourth integration year, 71.
Most people in the black community lived on or around the hill that was on the other side of the highway, and most of the white community lived closer to the railroad tracks that were on the other side. So literally the two high schools were probably no more than 6 or 8 blocks apart, literally.
I played for Carver in 1969-70 year, sophomore at the time. That was the last year that we played over there.
What was special about that team was the fact that there was a bond that developed with that group over the summer leading into the school year. We knew the schools were going to integrate the next year. We wanted a special year.
The blazing speed that they had was remarkable. I mean, you couldn't get from one end of the court to the other end of the court to attempt a shot. About half the time, they'd already stole it from you and scored a point, and then now they steal it from you again. I've seen them steal it 6 or 8 times before anybody can make it past the half-court line. It's pure excitement.
We were up and down the floor. If you were not in shape, you couldn't play with us. We were in top shape. I had a couple of parents went to the superintendent on me because I was running them down the side of the road.
Coach Cross was special. Coach Cross was the type of coach that allowed the team to be the team. He knew he had good players, and he basically allowed us to play. It seemed that everyone in Stevens was there, white and black. It was rocking. People wanted to see this team Carver. The style of play, the character of play, the sportsmanship that we had.
We got Greenbrier in the foul. Because, see, they had the great big boy that went to Oklahoma State or somewhere, up at Tulsa or somewhere. And I said, y'all notice how tired he get? We got to keep him moving. I pulled Larry out to the wing. And so that brought him away from the goal. Now if we take a jump shot, I got a chance to get the rebound. And then he got tired. And when he got tired, we were able to get back ahead again. And when we got back ahead, I said, let's run that 4 corner. And he put that ball out there, and you come out there to get it, and you have to foul him, you make the free throws. Well, one thing I remember, we were a good free throw shooting team. When they fouled Ralph, I was laughing, and Ralph was laughing too. Because we made our free throws. They won. They came out of those bleachers, and we were talking about a lot of people there. It was just great. And then when we finally got settled down and got headed back, the fire department, sheriff department met us at Ouachita County line, and they brought us on in. I'll never forget it like it was yesterday. It was cars and people all down the highway just waiting on us and yelling, when we came through.
Anyone could feel the pride that people from Stevens had, white and black, having won a state title. Everybody was excited about about the accomplishment. What happened in 70 carried over into 71. When the schools came together, they were on a high as far as sports were concerned. Now, basketball was really the heart and the soul of Stevens during that time. So, without a doubt, going into the school year 71, everybody was anticipating a great year in basketball. This is not a Stevens story. It's not just a basketball story. This is a story that all of Arkansas can relate to when it comes to integration. How it happened, what happened, how it came about, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
By the way, this is the first time they have held those trophies since their championship run. Their tournament record of 410 points still stands. Razorback basketball has a rich tradition, but another group of Hogs have made a name for themselves as champions across the state, proving that living with a disability doesn't define you as an athlete.
Welcome back to Bank OZK Arena in Hot Springs, home of March Madness 2019 High School State Finals. This is Game 3 of 12, the final one on Thursday. It has been all Ashdown as you look at the numbers. A whopping 65% from the field. Incredible shooting percentage. And the turnovers big, too. They forced 9, have only coughed it up twice themselves. They've also out-rebounded Drew Central and have a significant edge in points in the paint.
Yeah, the 17 zip edge and points off turnovers is critical for them. And are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't know.
How'd they ever lose twice?
How'd they ever lose twice? That's yeah.
Playing like this.
Hard to see. Well, they didn't have Wilkerson in there.
There you go.
That was the big difference the last time these two teams met. Big John Smith is a load in there, and he now is in double figures with 10. Tell you what, he has been as impactful as anybody today. Tranham gets his arm hit as he left his feet. I don't know if he was shooting or trying to get a pass off, but he was in the act of shooting, and will get 2 free throws. Zeb Tranham at the line shooting 2.
The 2 losses for this team this year. Obviously, one of them came to Drew Central in the regional finals. They lost both games by 1 point.
Yeah.
It's
Total
crazy.
Combined 2 points, so they could very easily be undefeated right now. Yeah. And they are certainly playing like they're capable of being undefeated.
The only thing that matters is they're undefeated tonight, right? If they go 1-0 tonight, that's what really counts at the end of the day.
Ashdown's never been to a state championship game in boys basketball, so first appearance, chance at a first title, a rare miscue by John Smith and a steal by Eubanks. A lot of time for Drew Central, though.
No doubt. I was going to say, you just got to chip away, try to get it after 3 quarters back within reach, and then you never know, and that's not the way to do it. Uh-oh.
Wilkerson lost it. It'll go back to Drew Central. Well, we mentioned right before we went to half, they got down to this Ashdown team 13-0 and came back and beat them, but that was a lot earlier than we are now, but still, whole half of basketball to play. But they are going to have to, A, take care of the basketball, and B, figure out how to solve this half-court defense. Ashdown is swallowing them up right now. Jacobs open briefly. Pirates spread it a little.
I like the fact they're not trying to get it all back at once. That can be a tendency, obviously, with young players. You're down big and you're trying to quickly get back, and they're working for a good shot still. I mean, they realize there's a lot of time. I'm sure that was a conversation that was had at length by C.J. Watson with his team at half. Although you need to get something.
Yeah.
You can take your time, but you better get something going here. And they can't get anything going towards the basket. Great defense.
Eubanks forces it in and out, and the rebound to Hunter. Patience is good, but it also increases, I think, in this game, your chance of turning the ball over, too. The more you handle it, the more you throw it around, Ashdown's going to be able to sit on something, but They were just looking for something to give them a spark, the right shot. Now, let's see how Ashdown plays it, too. Are they going to be patient? Wilkerson drives. Off of Drew Central. The Pirates thought it was off Ashdown. Lamar Wilkerson is our student athlete of the game. One of the two in this contest. His GPA 3.65. Plans to study athletic training. Time we got a score on the other end there.
Yeah, Notorious Nelson with the bucket inside. Scott, nice job. And then they get a turnover right back.
40-19. First field goal eluding Drew Central so far, and there's a walk by Smith. No, I think they're going to call a foul, actually. I thought he walked, but they got a foul. Offensive away from the ball. And I think they called that on Nelson. Yep, his second foul. Drive by Sheed, and he's going to get held in the front court by Nutt.
Remember, it was 9-9, so Scott, that's like a 31-10 run, I think. How's that for math?
Pretty good. You didn't even use your calculator. I'm impressed.
I use my toes. You can see.
Here's Williams. Drive by Eubanks. He'll go to the line.
They need to take the lid off down there soon if they're going to get back in this thing, but good aggressive play. And you can tell, I mean, Eubanks is, I mean, they just don't have anything going, and he's trying to force the issue. Had a jump shot rattle out a minute ago, and then that one, he's just trying to force the issue and get something going.
Well, the interesting thing is it's not the field goal percentage, it's the field goal attempts.
Yes.
I mean, they're at 41.2%, but they only have 7 made baskets because they've only been able to get 17 shot attempts.
Yeah, versus 25 on the other side. Oh, by the way, Ashdown's also 4 of 6 from 3.
Eubanks got them both. Keeps the lead at 19. A little bit of pressure. The Pirates are just picking them up full court man. Another backdoor lob. They try to get it to Wilkerson, and he is knocked down. And a foul call on Drew Central. That's how they started the game with a backdoor lob. They tried to go back 2 at that time. The Pirates ready for it. Drive by Nutt, and the finish.
Scott, that is impressive. There was a lot going on that play. It looked maybe kind of innocuous, but he double clutched there, and then he gets a steal on the other end.
Pocket picked, and Wilkerson is out front. It's a 3-on-2, and Nutt beats him back. Wow.
If Dickie V were here. Blowout City, baby! Come on, Drew Central. Let's make this one interesting. Got a lot of work to do. It is a tall order. What defense?
Eubanks finally gets behind the defense and scores one in close in a quick timeout.
Everything going the Panthers' way. I mean, it is impressive what they have done here.
Well, how about the intensity, the energy level right off the bat for Ashdown? I mean, they've just been up in Drew Central's grill since the opening tip, and they have not let up for one possession, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, 3 players in double figures for Ashdown now. Nutt with 14, and he's 6 of 7 from the floor. Smith with 11, and Wilkerson with 10 on 4 of 5 shooting. He's 2 of 2 from 3. I mean, it's almost unfair. Those guys are, everybody's hitting, and on the other side, like you said, percentage not awful, 44%. Guess what, though? Your opponent's shooting 70.
Yeah, that's hard to overcome. I mean, there really isn't a chink in the armor right now for the Panthers. Well, we saw a first-time champion crowned in the first game today. The Marion Patriots in overtime beating Little Rock Hall. We could see a first-time champion in this game. It's looking pretty likely right now. Drew Central, by the way, has 3 state championships. 75, 83, 84. Good basketball community down there in Drew County. School is technically in Monticello, but
yeah,
it draws from communities all across that county. Good ball handling by Keemon Nutt. I mean, you really look out there, and every time somebody gets the ball, you're going, well, he can score. He can score. This guy can. Nice backdoor cut. And here's a new guy in, Shantori Montu. And he gets fouled. 6-foot senior. And that's going to bring us to our third quarter media timeout before Montori gets to shoot his free throws. It is all Ashdown in the 3A boys state final.
This month in Passport, your on-demand library of the best of PBS.
She was the Queen's sister, but she did things nobody else in the royal family had done.
When you get that relationship with a horse, sky is the limit of what you can do.
Your fourth great grandfather knew Thomas Jefferson.
This is blowing my mind.
These and other shows are available with Passport. Become a member of this PBS station. Sign in and start streaming today.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Congratulations to our other outstanding student athlete participating in today's game. Drew Central's Nikki Bernard with a 4.0 GPA, plans to study accounting. As we go back to action here midway through the third quarter. That is Shantori Montu looking for his first points in this state championship game, shooting 2.
I don't think Nikki Bernard's going to like the accounting of this game through 3 quarters for sure.
The numbers are not adding up for the Pirates. No question about it. Drew Central's shown the patience. They've held on to the ball a little bit better in this third quarter than they did in the first half, but they're still having a hard time getting a good shot off. And there is a turnover. Montu gets it up the floor to Jimmy Dunn. And that's his first bucket of the game. A 5'10" senior scoring it.
The lead is greater than the Drew Central total. That's 7 now for
Sheed.
Hunter.
Hangs and unable to hit, but he'll draw the contact. He does not have a field goal tonight. Travarius T-Man Sheed averaged 22 points per game during this state tournament. And he has just 1 point tonight. In fact, he had a career high 33 in the district finals. He is a scorer, 14 points per game, the average on the year. Ashdown has kept him silent tonight.
I don't even think the Ashdown fans are enjoying this at this point. It's gotten so out of hand. I see people on their phones over there now.
Look at the ball movement. Montu gets in trouble, finds Wilkerson, and he draws the foul.
I like the way that Ashdown is not playing like they're winning. I mean, they're still locked in. That's kind of fun to watch. I hate it for Drew Central that they're not more competitive tonight, but yeah, it's not always easy to keep your focus on that end either when you're rolling to victory. You saw it last night in the Arkansas game. They were doing terrible things at Vanderbilt, and they just kept making threes.
Yeah.
Sometimes playing loose and relax that way for sure when you get up like that. And like Arkansas, Ashdown's got a banked-in 3 to their credit tonight.
Well, for Drew Central, you got to have a run in you somewhere if you're going to get back in this game, and it's just going to be difficult to do right now. If you don't get going pretty soon, they'll be running to the bus. Good drive there. Yep, Sheed will draw the contact. They can do it at the free throw line, but they're going to have to make the free throws. That's the other thing that's not happening, or it didn't on the last trip down. They are 7 of 10, though, on the night, so not bad. Sheed made 1 of 2 the last trip. He's 2 of 4 on the night, and that one goes down. C.J. Watson in his 7th year as the head coach at Drew Central. We told you in the open he went to school and graduated from there. He was a guard in 2001, graduated. A lot of pride for him coaching his alma mater. And they have had a fine year. Out of the corner, Wilkerson for 3. Skying for the rebound is Sheed. Sheed starting to make a little bit of an impact here. He is certainly capable of lighting it up. They can get the ball to him, but Eubanks has it stripped again. Look at the effort there. Williams on the floor, staying with it. What a great effort, but he can't get the ball back for the Pirates. Here comes Dunn behind the back. In the corner, wide open, Hunter, count it.
Oh my. Yeah, Dunn created that play behind the back twice to elude defenders and set it up from the corner for Hunter, who now is in double figures. 4 players now from Ashdown in double figures. You got 10, 11, 12, and 14 for Hunter, Smith, Wilkerson, and Nutt, respectively.
Got another foul, this one on the floor against the Panthers, and that's going to be the 6th team foul against Ashdown. So Drew Central, if they keep pushing it offensively, should get an opportunity to go to the free throw line down the stretch here.
4 games tomorrow, 5 on Saturday. So the 3-4-5 stacking, a little bit different this year as we obviously dropped the classification. Instead of 14 games, we got 12. So really looking forward to that slate tomorrow. Starts off with a really good 6A girls game. It's all Western Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, I like those matchups in those girls and boys games. And then I'm really looking forward to the 5A girls game.
Yeah, I am too.
Drive by Sheed, he had it partially blocked. And look how fast Wilkerson gets his team down the floor. And the leave for John Smith.
No look.
Wow.
He went Magic Johnson there. Look left, through right. Great finish by John Smith. An absolute clinic by the Panthers tonight.
That is quite the duo, Wilkerson and Smith. Take a look.
Watch him look left here. Hello.
Nice bounce pass.
That is a finish, too. Boy, great pass.
John Smith, meantime, has 12. And here's Wilkerson again. Tried the no-look it again. Drew Central got a piece of it. Boy, and everybody collides there, and a foul is going to be called on Drew Central. Talking about that 5A girls game between Jonesboro and Little Rock Christian. I think that's going to be a good game.
Yeah, Little Rock Christian with a couple of already confirmed D1s, and obviously Winter Rogers, daughter of the head coach, is definitely going to be playing Division I basketball, but she's only a sophomore. Finally missed by Ashdown. And then on the other side, Jonesboro is the defending state champion.
Yep.
Be a fun one. I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, my.
Bernard from long range. And it hit the baseline before the save attempt. It is hard to believe Ashdown had 9 points at the end of the first quarter. I know I've mentioned that a couple of times, but these last 2 quarters have been an offensive explosion.
No, an absolute clinic. It's amazing. Both ends of the floor. And a lot of guys getting involved, too. That's what's impressive. You get so many guys got it going tonight. You have 4 players in double figures, as I mentioned, and they've all 4 made 4 field goals or more.
Wilkerson trying to get off the 3 to beat the buzzer. No. And that's the way the third quarter will come to an end. The Ashdown fans up on their feet. They can sense their school's first state championship.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Law Offices of Gary Green, a people's practice, representing people with serious injuries in areas of personal injury, nursing home negligence, and product liability. We are proud to be underwriters of AETN.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
The Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
Eight minutes until a 3A boys state champion is crowned. Big Red Stores is proud to be an Arkansas-owned and operated company supporting the Arkansas Activities Association. Shop any of the 40 Big Red Store locations across the state for great deals all year long with your Big Red Rewards card.
A 24-2 edge for Ashdown. Scott off of turnovers, points off turnovers. It is, it's been critical.
Yeah, that's been the story. The transition buckets off of the turnovers have certainly aided that 67% field goal percentage. A lot of those have been layups. But they've shot well, too, from the outside. 5 of 9 from behind the arc is Ashdown. There's really not much they didn't do or haven't done. John Smith's had a good game. Can't get the roll there. And a foul on the rebound as Sheed grabbed it, and then he got fouled by John Smith.
Just think if their head coach had been here.
Wow.
This game might have gotten out of hand.
What an unfortunate story that is.
Well, again, I hope he's watching, and I hope that he's enjoying the way his kids have come out and represented the school and represented the effort that, you know, they played with all year and the lessons he taught them through the season. And, yeah, it is, I mean, look, it's just going to be an asterisk for him. I mean, they're going to take home their first state title in Ashdown history. I mean, that's a remarkable achievement.
Joe Baker and Ed Cross are the assistants, by the way, who are on the sidelines steering the ship in James Smith's absence. If you weren't with us in the top of the broadcast, Smith not allowed to be in the arena tonight. He was ejected in the semifinal game, and by rule cannot be on the bench, cannot even be in the building for this championship game.
We were kind of joking around today. And you go Groucho Marx mask or, like, you know, get the fake mustache and glasses. I mean, it's probably not worth it because I don't know what the rules are on that if he ends up showing up here incognito. But
I don't know how enforceable it even is, really. But he's certainly not allowed to be on the bench, and he's not there. That's an offensive foul, I believe.
Looks like
slow to get up to is Hunter.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's the one thing you don't want in this last 7-16 is to see somebody get hurt. Offensive foul on Caden Hunter, and Drew Central will get it.
Little tweak there. He's just looked like they were playing Twister down there under the basket. Left foot red. And luckily they all came out of the pile okay.
Three-pointer by Tranham. Picked up underneath by Sheed. Sheed can't get it to go, but he will draw the foul. He is still looking.
An astute listener,
first field goal.
Viewer, Scott, has told me that Bo Tillery is the third coach over on the bench. He leads the Ashdown Lady Panthers program.
Oh, okay. Good
adding
deal.
a little moral support over there, and obviously he knows what's up in the world of basketball, so adding a little assistance. Free throw missed.
Attention young filmmakers, AETN is accepting entries through April 1st for Student Selects, a young filmmakers showcase. Your films and videos could be broadcast on AETN and compete for scholarships and prizes. For details, visit aetn.org. So, the lineup, we kind of alluded to the big day tomorrow. 3 games today, finishing up with this one. 4 tomorrow starting at 2:30 at the arena. The 6A girls game between Bentonville and Northside, all Northwest Arkansas matchup. You got that game right, I believe.
I do.
Bobby Swafford will be with you.
Yes, sir.
4:15, it's Northside and Bryant. So Northside gets the girls and the boys in. What a story for them.
And you've got that call.
Got that one. Looking forward to that.
Bryant, I think I'm with you on that one.
Bryant has had a special year in multiple sports, obviously. So the football state championship, and now the first time in decades that they'll be playing in the state championship game. And then you got Jonesboro and Little Rock Christian. We talked about that at the 5A girls game scheduled for a 6 o'clock tip. We know how that scheduling can work, though, when you have an overtime game like we had today. And then Nevada and Izard County, a 1A boys game. Those can be some barn burners. 7:45, the 1A boys of the nightcap tomorrow here in Hot Springs, and we'll have all of the action right here on AETN Sports. So glad that AAA has been able to partner with AETN and be able to bring these games to you all across the state of Arkansas. And the whole state is represented this year, by the way.
Yeah, we are all over the place this year.
All these schools.
Yep.
From every corner. Panthers going to burn some clock time now. The drive and the jump stop shot won't go from Dunn. Even in transition, Drew Central finding it hard going. Hard sledding. Out of the corner, that three is off the mark from Tranham.
That stat line by Nutt impressive, Scott. 14 points, 6 of 7, and he leads them with 4 steals as well. He's also pulled down 4 boards on his way to probably an MVP performance here tonight. Although Wilkerson's got his name in the hat probably as well. We had really a toss-up in the last game. 2 spectacular performances for Batesville. Another bucket inside there, but I'd say you could have a minor debate here as well.
That is going to be a bit of a tough call. They've all had moments of where they were controlling the game.
Well, John Smith's been great, too.
Yeah.
I thought he really set the tone early.
How many assists does he have? Looking at that real quick.
Smith's got a couple of assists. Wilkerson's got 4.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. It's a tough choice. We're not even sure which coach we'll get in the post-game interview.
Good point.
I would imagine it'll be Joe Baker. We're told it probably will be him. Drew Central basketball with 5:06 to play. So just to finish out that slate, since we were talking about the Friday games. Big stretch on Saturday of 5 games. It starts at noon. The 3A girls will be Mountain View and Atkins. 1:45, it's the 2A boys game, England and Clarendon. At 3:30, the 1A girls title match between Wonderview and Rural Special. 3-pointer off 1 foot by Bernard. He's got 6. Magnolia Mills ought to be a really good game.
Yeah.
4A boys game at 5:15.
I heard Magnolia's, I haven't seen them play, obviously, but I've heard they've got a freshman that's just outstanding.
Really good freshman. Riverside and Melbourne. The 2A girls game, the last game of the season. At 7 o'clock, a scheduled tip time on Saturday. So we're just getting started. The madness just beginning. And Ashdown wants a timeout.
So the question becomes, how many Panthers are going to appear in this game? And how many Pirates?
Better get the rosters ready. Hey, a new AETN documentary will premiere nationally on PBS this April. State of the Art tells the stories of 7 diverse artists who were chosen for a groundbreaking exhibit at Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Bentonville. You can learn more by going to aetn.org. Yeah, I better do that while I'm saying that. We better get, because we, on our spot boards here, I've just got the players that normally play, and the direct quotes from most of the coaches are, that's all it'll play unless the route is on.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
And nobody anticipated this at all. I mean, these two teams played to a 1-point difference last time around in the regional final, and this is certainly surprising.
Well, not too many subs right now, if any. John Smith still in there. Caden Hunter, Lamar Wilkerson, Notorious Nelson. And Drew Central not really subbing either yet.
Team foul 6 on Drew Central, and Pirates are in the double bonus, so if they can draw a foul, they'll get some freebies.
Well, the Panthers have cooled off to 63.9% from the field now.
It's just been impressive. Again, you hate it for Drew Central. I mean, nobody wants to go out like this, but, you know, again, commendable, great season.
Well, you had a near mistake-free game. I mean, near mistake-free game, the intensity, the energy level. John Smith, why not? 14 for the senior John Smith. Just weren't any chinks in the armor today. And again, you go back to that key to the game that C.J. Watson gave us. We got to handle their pressure. They didn't do that.
Yeah. Yep, turnover's a big part of the story. 14 by Drew Central. Converted into 24 points. That's a pretty efficient effort. I consider 2 points a turnover great, 1 point acceptable, and they're right in between there. So
we've reached our media timeout. 3:45 to go in the 3A title game. Back to Bank OZK Arena in a moment.
Wow, that is unbelievable.
Stay curious.
Why choose local? Because local companies stay rooted in their communities. They support other local businesses and provide jobs for your friends and neighbors. At Fidelity Communications, we take great pride in being a local company that's dedicated to the communities we serve. Jobs and opportunities for the people you love. That's why you choose local. Fidelity Communications. We're here, we're local. Be connected with Fidelity, your local internet, TV, and home phone provider.
3:45 to go until Ashdown gets their first boys state championship. 58-32. They've led since early in the second quarter and never looked back. It was tied at 9 after 1. They went on a run in the second quarter that you don't see very often in high school basketball. 27-point second quarter. Outscored Drew Central 27-9 in that second quarter. 18-8 in the third quarter. Lights out shooting and turnovers. The difference in this one.
Jimmy Dunn, great ball handling skills.
And he'll go to the line. His first free throws of the night. They've even shot free throws well. Haven't taken a bunch. 6 out of 7 as a team tonight. Make it 7 out of 8. Out of the corner, another 3 off the mark. That one from Sheed. Pirates right back. Drive by Chavis. And Chavis again. Offensive rebound. Count it plus a foul. That's the first field goal of the night for Travarius Sheed. He finally got one to go.
I didn't see a foul there. I'd like to see the replay there. He took a swipe at it. I didn't think he touched it. Drew Central due for a break, I suppose.
T-Man Sheed has a football scholarship offer from UAM.
I caught him on the arm there a little bit.
He's got to decide if he wants to play football in college or play basketball. West Alabama interested in him, a D2 school. And coach telling me, he said he's going to go wherever the right fit is. So he's not really sure whether he's going to play football or basketball in college, but he's probably going to have the opportunity to do either.
Boy, what a dilemma.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really easy for me. I didn't have to stress about that. I'm so thankful. Got to choose neither one. chosen for me.
Caden Hunter is fouled. Got a few guys on this Drew Central team that are drawing some college interest. Ashdown's obviously got some players too that could play at the next level. Hunter's first free throw gives him 9 points on the night. Zeb Tranham has interest from North Ark JUCO. For Drew Central. Here's Tranham's three. It's off. The putback.
What a nice play there.
Was good by Chavis.
Yeah, it was all Eubanks right there. Tipped it to his teammate intentionally, standing right under the goal. I don't think that'll count as a rebound or an assist, and frankly should be both. It's impressive play there. That's a heads-up play. It's an unselfish play.
Got timeout called by Drew Central.
First bucket, too, of the game for Chavis.
Yeah, he didn't play much in that first half, but he's come on and finally gotten one in. Known more for his defensive prowess for C.J. Watson and the Pirates. Coach says all he wants to do is play defense, but he showed some offense there. He's a senior playing in his last game as well. So the Pirates will press. Trying to finish up strong here. Actually, I think they're going to try to put him at the free throw line there. That looked like an intentional foul.
I don't know what we're doing here. You're down 26. I mean, there's no reason to foul in the backcourt. It's silly. 2.5 minutes left. Play it out. Play D, but you don't need to be reaching. And what are you going to do? I mean, try to trade a couple free throws for a three 20 times? I don't know what kind of strategy that is, but I'm all for playing hard till the end of the game, but I don't see a lot of logic in that.
Keelan Nutt will take the free throws.
I guarantee you. He's happy to add to his total.
That's 15 for the Ashdown senior. We'll get a substitution now for Lamar Wilkerson. Shintori Montiu is back in. That will probably be all for Wilkerson. So he finishes up his year. He will be back. He's a junior. 12 points for Wilkerson. He's a nice-looking player.
He's fun to watch, there's no doubt.
Nicky Bernard can't get the three. And a foul on the follow try by Caleb Williams into the ball game for Drew Central. He gets 2 free throws. .56, a sophomore. Yeah, a sophomore in that girls' game that was pretty impressive. She did not play like a sophomore, did she?
Very impressive.
Batesville clawed back to take that state championship. Boonville had a lead as late as probably, what, midway through the fourth quarter, maybe? They had a lead pretty late.
Yeah.
Early fourth quarter?
Early fourth quarter, maybe, yeah. Yeah, Batesville just very impressive, and everybody in the state in the 4A has been put on notice about Izzy Higginbottom. She is a absolute star in the making. And I was joking with Eric. I said she's either got an incredibly good coach or she's got some genetic material related to Pete Maravich, because her game is impressive. I mean, she's already 2 steps ahead of the defender. She knows what she wants to do with it. She was making beautiful passes, knocking down shots, really good anticipation on the defensive end. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about her.
Turnovers were big in that game, too.
Absolutely. That's what killed Berryville. And they were converted at a high rate again. Why do we continue to foul here with 2:11 left? I don't know.
You ready to go home?
Can I have a... Well, I just don't see the point in it.
No, I understand.
I mean,
I understand.
I'm just walking next door. I'm good. I don't have far to go. I feel bad for you.
You did all 3 games today, though.
I got the pleasure and the joy of doing all 3 games,
Yes.
coming off a game last night. I'll do a few more tomorrow because they'll let me.
Yeah,
and basketball's almost over. You got to drink it in. This is the best time of the year, man. I love it.
It is. March Madness everywhere with the high school SEC women's tournament. The Razorback women won today. They beat Georgia.
Yeah, good.
You know, they play South Carolina, I think, tomorrow.
Next week, obviously, you get all the men's tournaments. I'm glad they didn't coincide because a lot of times they do with the high school. There's a sloppy pass there by Ashdown, turning it back over, up 26 with a minute 59. These guys are trying to make this last couple minutes last as if this game was a 2-point game.
That was the 7th turnover for Ashdown. Not many. Not many today.
On the other side, 15.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get the mass subs. There you go, fellas. Enjoy it.
Hey, what a great opportunity. Get some minutes.
For the play-by-play guy to dig deep in the roster.
Yeah.
Now you get to get all the names in.
Carson Ray in for Drew Central. Amir Chavis. Hunter Goad.
Kevin Stain in over there.
Stevan Hall. Just a few of the guys getting to play here for Drew Central.
Uh-oh.
And Greeland Thomas.
That was very nice of Jimmy Dunn. Stole it and didn't run out and try to get a dunk or a layup. Oh, but John Smith says, I'm going to throw a 3 up here, and then
he threw it.
He's going to get back. They're trying to get him a 3.
Yeah. I think they call a timeout to get some subs in.
John Smith's like, I'm going to get one more before I get out of here.
How about the ovation for the Ashdown starters?
Man, they deserve it.
Yeah, they do. What a performance here today in the 3A Boys State Championship game. They'll give way to some guys getting to see some minutes now. Mark Covington will inbound the ball. Herman Benton is into the game. Taylon Robinson, Delray Smith, and Jacoby Williams all getting some minutes here for Ashdown in the final 119 now. I think what happened there is the coaching staff for Ashdown didn't know it was time to bring the subs in. They didn't see them come in. They got out there. They called it. Hey, that's good sportsmanship. Call a timeout. Get them all out there. And let these guys play it out.
If you look up in a second, I'm not sitting next to you. I'm going to go out and steal all the officials' whistles. I mean, unless there's blood drawn, just let it go. There we go. There's another Panther on the board. Jacoby Williams, good-looking sophomore.
Yep, 6 foot.
What are we doing here? Lane violation?
Yeah, maybe so.
27-point advantage. The minute left. I don't know how you come off the bench after sitting the entire time. That's going to be tough.
Well, it's like you said, they probably were not expecting to see playing time tonight.
Yeah.
This was expected to be a tight game. Last time they played, Drew Central beat Ashdown 46-45. But you don't always put together a complete performance like Ashdown did today.
Yeah. They would have beaten a lot of teams today for sure.
Three-pointer by Benton. And the rebound and stick back by Delray Smith.
I would like to commend Kevin Stain on not fouling on the rebound.
Final half minute. That 3 is off the mark from Carson Ray. Drew Central gets the rebound, though. And Ashdown now in transition. They may just hold it, although it's an opportunity to score. Jacoby Williams can't get it to go, and it's out of bounds with 8 seconds.
Hey, you're talking crazy, Scott. Come on. You got to get yours. I mean, hey.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm going to scratch a bucket here.
One last chance for somebody on Drew Central to heave one up. It'll be, no, they're not going to get it off.
Gotta throw it away. Been that kind of night, as they say.
Yeah.
That'll close the book on it.
Ashdown will inbound it and seal the deal. The Ashdown Panthers are state champions for the first time in school history. a foregone conclusion for quite some time. But the Panthers, from start to finish, got it done tonight. It was that second quarter that made the difference, a 27-9 second quarter that Ashdown used to break it wide open. We've still got much to do in the postgame show. We'll have some interviews, the trophy presentation, all still to come. We'll take a break and be back to Hot Springs in a moment.